Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Do you remember one of these sentences from your parents when you were a child? Sorry son, but we cannot afford it. That is too expensive. Sorry, but we have to save money on that. I do, and I always teared up when my mom told this to me. And I remember a point in time where I decided to do whatever it takes, so that I will never have to see my children close to tears because of the lack of a few bucks. I asked my parents how to do this, and their answer was, "Son, study hard, get good grades, so you later get a job that is paid well." And that's exactly what Robert Kiyosaki's Poor Dad told him to do, to become rich when he was a child. And I think many of you heard this from your parents as well. But this concept doesn't work for most of us, and for me neither. Robert Kiyosaki says that earning, spending and protecting your money is a skill. But that only few people know this because schools aren't teaching money management. So we get all our money skills from our parents. If your parents are rich, you are likely to end up rich. If your parents are poor, you are likely to end up poor. Robert Kiyosaki's Poor Dad had a PhD and a well-paid job as a teacher, but struggled with money every single month, like most of us. Robert Kiyosaki also had a friend. His father didn't finish school, but was a very, very wealthy person. He became the rich dad who mentored the two kids, making Robert Kiyosaki one of the wealthiest people in Hawaii. His poor dad always said, "I can't afford that." His rich dad always said, "Ask yourself, how can I afford it?" Poor dad saved what's left at the end of the month. Rich dad teach to save money first and live on what's left. His poor dad told him to study for school so he can work for a great company. His rich dad told him to study money so he can buy a great company. His rich dad also taught him a very simple technique for his finances. It changed my life forever, and since I'm doing that, I'm doing way better with money. Just forget everything else about handling money and use this. You have to draw 4 boxes: your income, your expenses, your assets, and your liabilities. An asset is everything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is everything that takes money out of it. Assets are stocks, businesses, rented out houses, or educational books on money like this one. Liabilities are cars, mobile phones, or a house where you pay the rent. And now the important thing is where the cash flows. The cash flow of rich people, they get their income, buy assets, and then get even more income and buy even more assets every month. The cash flow of poor people, they get their income, then buy liabilities, so they have even more expenses, and with the next paycheck, they buy even more liabilities and have even more expenses. It's like a rat race. That is also why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's not about your paycheck. It is about your attitude. In addition, he mentions a trap that kept me poor for most of my life. And he said, poor people only have expenses. Rich people buy assets. And the middle class is buying liabilities thinking they are assets. And since I understood this and went into the rich people's cash flow cycle, I'm fine, and it's getting better and better with each day. Now you might say, hey, but what if my asset, for example my stock, goes down? Think about it. The value of the new car you needed so badly goes down by 30% over the first year. Yes, your stock also can go down, but it also can go up for 300%. Your new car can't do that. Other great teachings of the book are: poor people can't control themselves. They are greedy for new things and buy them to impress others. They try to look rich instead of using the paycheck to actually become rich. It's like buying a golden egg every day, instead of buying a goose that is laying the golden eggs for the rest of your life. Another one is: learn to calculate risk. The middle class thinks that money is safe in their bank accounts. If you think that, you're wrong. It is risky and decreases with inflation. Putting money in real estate has less risk, and you get much more money in return if you rent it out. Today I even think taking your money and giving it to a bank is the worst thing you can do to become wealthy. Another teaching is: it is not about how much money you make, it is how great you are protecting it. Poor people do not realize that overall they often pay 50% taxes for their hard-earned money, and that by owning a business, they could keep almost all of it if done right.